Relevant gender of all gamers, welcome to the show. My name is Strong Legs, as always, and this fine, young, bearded gentleman is Mitchman. Welcome to the show for the first time, man. Happy to have you on board. How's it going?
Pleasure to be here. It's good to be with you, man. I've heard your name floating around quite a bit. We've never had the chance to work together, so I'm glad to get it going on a best of three as well. We'll get a nice little night together.
Yeah, not even just a best of three, but best of three among two of my personal favorite teams, Defusekids and Nemiga. These guys have been showing insane performances. Nemiga has been actually one of our top performers throughout our entire history in Winners League. And Defusekids, kind of the new joiners, the newcomers, right? Picking up Doc. It's a nice Dutch mix along with the only single UK player, Vanity, on their roster. And these guys are here to game, and they're here to prove something, I think. And I think we're about to see what I would consider a brawl between both of these teams.
I would give you that as well. Like for Defusekids, we've seen them put up a really good fight against some top level teams. Even just yesterday, it was Mad Lions and Crazy, and they didn't win those matches, but still managed to play really well across both of them, putting up good performances against top level teams. It suits them well then when you come up against Nemiga with recent roster changes as well.
Right, yeah, they picked up Speedak, who I'm actually kind of curious to see how he fits into this roster, but let's go over the veto here really quickly. So the first things that was removed was Train. That was removed by Nemiga. They're not really looking to fight the Russian Speedak on Train. Can't really blame them, to be honest. Or actually, he's on their team. What am I saying? How come they didn't pick Train? But either way, Defusekids removed Overpass. So the picks between both of these teams is Nemiga picks Nuke, Defusekids pick Dust 2, which I'm not too surprised to see, to be honest. Defusekids have played Dust 2 many, many times, and they are really well versed on it. And the remaining map, the decider map, is Inferno for the third map. Not something that is uncommon. I think Inferno is a pretty safe third decider map. But just going through these HLTV stats here on between both of these teams. So Nuke was picked by Nemiga, who they've played 18 times on HLTV, by the way. And they have a 61% win rate on it. So, I mean, that's not bad. That's a pretty good win percentage, especially considering the fact that they've played it 18 times. And Defusekids, on the other hand, have only shown that they've played Nuke on HLTV at least 3 times. But they have a 67% win rate on it.
Yeah, beating both LDLC and Asterion, not a team I'm familiar with. The LDLC game was super close as well. Defusekids could be in a little bit of hot water coming on the Nuke. I think Nemiga have done well to get that out. The concern for me, the fact that, yeah, you look at all their past results, but now you've got Speedak put in there. He's only played 4 matches, I think, with this team so far. It's going to be a little bit shaky then when you're looking at the likes of a Nuke with recent changes. Even if it is just that one player, it can really throw out the swing of things a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if there is one map where you kind of have a dysfunction with a recent stand-in, it's definitely Nuke. And I think it's a big X factor, right? We're not really sure what to expect from Speedak specifically, right? We don't really know if he's going to pop off. We don't really know if he's going to be kind of uncomfortable with their structure. We don't really know much. So I'm kind of curious to see how he'll perform over this best of 3 series. But now moving on to the second map statistics, I see here that Defusekids have played on HLTV at least Dust 2 10 times recently. And they have an 80% win rate on it. That's pretty crazy. That's a high percent.
Yeah, moving on to Dust 2, Nemiga have a little bit of a boost up in the fact that, okay, you got a stand-in or a new player coming in. He's actually only played 1 map with these guys. That'll help you out a little bit. But a brave move from Defusekids to look at it and just say, we're going to play balls to the wall, just skill here, and try to out-aim you individually. They've performed really well on Dust 2 versus Mad Lions and Crazy yesterday. Heretics a little bit before that. It was a 16-13 loss. They actually beat Crazy on this map too.
Wow.
So really solid signs for them. If Defusekids are feeling comfortable on an individual level, that'll require a lot from Nemiga. But you got to think about it. There's a strong possibility with how this is built up that Defusekids will be going into their map pick with a 1-0 disadvantage. If Nuke doesn't pan out the way that they need it to, then you would maybe have a little bit more to work with on the Nemiga side, because it's not like any team doesn't know Dust 2.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's a pretty well fleshed out map, I would say. And I think just off remembering how Defusekids play, they have a really strong double op setup as well, along with Doc. So I feel like he's going to have a really fun time on Dust 2, especially if he's feeling loose, if he's feeling confident, like you said. I think they'll be able to bounce quite well. So I think, personally, for me, if I had to make some sort of prediction, I would say that if Nemiga can't pick up their map pick, they might even be looking at a 2-0 for Defusekids, because I'm heavily leaning towards Defusekids for this second map.
Yeah, I definitely side with you on that one. If we're not seeing, like, Nemiga have to in this veto pick up Nuke. If they don't, things start to really fall apart pretty quickly for them. You're then going onto a puggy map where even at the best of times, it's going to be a coin toss going into, and that's potentially a series lost before having to move on to Inferno, which is already, we know, a pretty decent map for Nemiga. So they've got at least some comfort there if D2 doesn't go their way. Okay. But again, they have to pick their map pickup. All
right, well, you know, less talking, more seeing. Let's jump into the end game. Mel, kick the show for us. Let's see some action. Now, this is going to be knife for sides if you are wondering, and knife round is about to... Actually, okay. I don't think it is knife for sides. I think it's map pick side choice. Excuse me, I'll correct myself. So this is Nemiga's map pick, so you can see they're kind of suiciding. That's
fair.
Oh. I like they're taking a 1v1 against each other. That's warming up for that Inferno knife round.
Just in case they end up there. They might know Dust 2 isn't going to look too good for them in the grand scheme of things. We'll see. So if I'm not mistaken, then that's going to be Nemiga starting out on the CT side from what I'm seeing?
Yes. Actually, no, it's going to be Defusekids. The HUD is always a little bit delayed in switching sides, but yeah, so it is going to be Defusekids on the CT side, of course, considering this is Nemiga's map pick.
Gotcha.
Now, let's see what Nemiga's up to right here. So it is Box running the triple kind of rainbow nades. He's going to pop open the door, try to pull attention towards the inner bomb site, but actually the majority of the hit is coming outside.
Vanity being able to pick up one. He's bailing back, playing quite patiently after finding it, allowing his teammate to come in and help them out. Maggie with another, and Seeker control goes towards Nemiga, but they've lost so much they have to try to recover it with the flank coming through. Box is being spotted, so now it's time to go down the vents and regroup, but I don't think he can find it there.
That's really well done. And they have taken like no casualties as well. Now Nemiga's been in a bit of a tough spot, aren't they? They don't really have much control. I feel like they're funneled into this lower bomb site where their hand is sort of forced. They have to commit. The smoke will give them passage. That might be a bomb plan at least. Oh, unless Relax has something to say about it.
Jumping around MDS is going to be trying to spot a couple of heads, take them down, but he gets the one. Eventually, you're just triple peeked out. There's no way you're winning that situation unless you're hitting the luckiest shots and your enemies have just got their eyes closed. That's the only way it goes your way.
For sure. And that lack of bomb plan, that's huge for Defusekids. Now, Nemiga, they kind of have to make a decision, I feel. Are they going to go for the force buy, or are they going to go for the Galils and AK with limited utility in the first gun round? Or maybe they have some sort of plan to maybe get the bomb down here and get their economy set, but I think we're already having technical difficulties.
We're bailing on both teams. Look at this. Everyone's just gone. Well, 1-0, I think Defusekids win the match.
Oh, okay. Well, GG.
So some tech issues, obviously, we'll be jumping back into that. I think Nemiga at that point, though, obviously it will be reset to the 2K mark for them. I doubt we're going to be seeing a force buy coming through. Generally, with teams now, if they get the bomb plant, they'll run into a force buy. Yeah, sure, but they'll go into a force buy right afterwards. But if you're not finding that bomb plant, then there's not really much point in investing. You're going to have 2K. You're up against SMGs. You're relying on pistol fights with very little utility. It's just not something that will look good for you in those early rounds. Better off saving your money, getting the full buyout when hopefully they've got some weaknesses and you can clock some rounds up.
Right, yeah. I guess the argument it becomes, do you want to play against SMGs that have full utility, or do you want to pick up AKs with full utility and try your luck on the fourth round? But again, it's really whichever path you kind of prefer. But Galil's Galils are extremely viable. They are, in my opinion, like much cheaper M4s, kind of like budget M4s that are almost better in some weird way. But obviously the M4 is slightly better. But I mean, $1,800, you come in first gun round, you have full utility. If your main star players can upgrade to the AK, have a little less, maybe a smoke, maybe a single flash. And I think you can still get things done. By the way, if you're in here wondering what the heck's going on, I think they're just swapping to the Germany server, so they all have better pings. So as soon as all 10 players reconnect, which what I'm seeing, I think they're almost ready to go. So as soon as they're ready, as soon as they're readied up and live, we'll jump back into the server. But yeah, I mean, Defusekids denying bomb plant, picking up pistol round. It's already a great start for them. If they can get it rolling, if they can pick up this first gun round, I think that'll be a good kind of economic start for them, at least in the beginning of this first half.
It looks like they're ready and up, and you can see they got the same money, so we're good to roll. So you see what we're talking about when the Nemiga. Look at the money that they've got, 2K. What can you get out of that? Couple pistols, like you're talking armor. You're going to need the head armor because you're up against SMGs, so that leaves you with like a deagle at best. Do you want to take those odds, or do you want to just wait, get the AKs out, maybe pop a bomb plant in this round? That seems like a much better, better situation. It's what most teams go towards.
Now, I wonder what their plan is. It seems like they have the best forward spawns on the T-spawn, so I think dropping down vents might not be an option for them. Or if they do try to run it. Actually, no, Box does have a pretty forward spawn, so maybe he can risk it. A nade, a smoke, a flash for him over the heavens might allow him to get down vents, and if he can get down... Oh, they're rolling it, Mitch.
Yeah, they're going for it. This is a ballsy play early on. It just says, we think we're the better team. Pistols come out. Molotovs everywhere. They can full execute a side in towards A. I'd be very scared because things are going to get hot. With that nade, they can blow open the door, get some early progress. This is going to be a very dangerous round for Defusekids with all those SMGs up against, well, only 2 players with head armor, which is at least a small
Opening up for us. He's actually got spotted out, so that's an easy pick to come down from him. 1-for-1 trade, however. Yo, find one, and actually able to find a second one as well, but the rotations, the cavalry has arrived for Defusekids, holding down the bomb site, not quite letting Nemiga spiral out of control into this round, and now down the box, a feature 50, no armor, and then no head, Mitch, and I think you need a head to play this game, so he doesn't have that anymore, and Defusekids find the second round.
Generally, you need a head on Nemiga. Maybe don't use theirs with that forced buy. It was a little bit staggered. They're getting isolated on 1-versus-1 duels. The players that don't have the head armor are already eliminated going into those fights up against the S. Plenty of money for Defusekids. And the problem here is they only managed 2 kills. Now, Defusekids still have very low money, but this is the round where they should be building it up, with Nemiga only being able to afford a couple of pistols, no armor at all. They should be getting 1 kill at most, and the Defusekids now have an opportunity to get that bankroll in play. Botched flashbang from Box as well leaves them very exposed as they run through, and we talk about a money-building round. Look at this from 4 kills. He's got so much cash now, 5.7k. I think he had to rebuy in that previous round as well, so you're not looking too much, very much worse for wear at this point.
Yeah, I have to admit, Nemiga's second round risk, that did not pan out for them at all. I mean, 2 kills, not a bomb plant in this third round was a disaster. The botch flash allows Doc 4 MP9 kills. Look at his money right now, posed by 4,400. They're set, man. They have this bonus round right here, and even if they lose this one, they still have another gun round to follow. Now it's the outside exec here for Nemiga. They're looking to get down secret, and they're looking to overhaul the outside. Now, they've only sent 1 person, and this could throw Vanity off. It could be, calling the alarms, send some players to reinforce the secret area. But look at this lobby push coming out right now.
Oh, Lollipop got the timing perfectly, though, and catches Vin. He's going to keep falling back, posting on the angles. Gets eliminated, but at least the 1 kill to work with, and so much damage to Maggie. For Nemiga, having outside control, trying to force it when there's no AWP in play is quite easy. And although Fasher finds one from behind, it's still a 3-versus-3. Nemiga pretty much having wide open doors wherever they want to go. They know that there was a lobby push earlier on, obviously, with Fasher up on top. They might now want to focus on the outside play in towards Secret, or they can move to Heaven as well, which, having so many players pushed ramp, is probably going to be open for business. They're actually going both angles. I'm not a big fan of this. You're down in Secret and you're going through Heaven. This means that you can't quickly crunch a bomb site effectively unless they're going to go up through vents here for MDS.
Yeah, I think the idea is just have MDS apply some weird pressure down below, at least to maybe pull a single person to look at it and open up some space here for Speedax to come in. But I think this is most likely ending into this A split. Maggie, though, he really does have to be careful. And that's not Maggie, that's Doc, excuse me. Doc really has to be careful here in how he plays this. 27 HP, the solo anchor right here. If he falls really early without anything in for him, that might not end well.
Lands the 1, dropping down those Speedax. Good for the trade. Molly in the door gets a bomb plant down. Oh, they're coming up through vents. It wasn't spotted, but Speedax goes out and takes Relax. Leave that bomb plant to come through, and now Fasher He already found one kill on the flank. Now he has to do it in heads-up duels. Jo spots him and deals with him very quickly. Yeah, Nemiga did play that well, have an MDS down below. It's a small risk because if your Heaven player takes contact, or indeed if they've pushed up aggressively in secret, which they're liable to do considering it was a 3v3, you could be losing a player with no opportunity to trade back, and again, a very weak crunch on that bomb site. The solo anchor would have a much easier time, but they played it slow. MDS didn't get too aggressive, didn't try to push up to the vents, just lobbed the nade into the doors and then backed off. That kept them guessing a little bit and led to only one player being on the A site. I like it.
I agreed. I think all things considered, that was still an okay round for Defusekids. They brought it down to 2 players alive for Nemiga. Now it's going to be the full investment coming out here for the Belarusian side. And Defusekids, they're not really too stressed. They still have M4s, they still have full utility, they still have the op for Vin, kits. They're ready to roll. They're not really too stressed about it. But this will be a huge round here for either of these teams. I mean, if Defusekids, excuse me, pick up this round, it'll be a huge swing for them on the CT side. And if Nemiga find this round, that will be kind of the early start that they need, right? Just kind of keeping Defusekids tamed, keeping their economy in check, not letting them get too comfortable on the CT side. So this is such an important round for both of these teams. I think this is a good tactical timeout as well. Just discuss what needs to happen here. Let's get this early lead. Let's get that kind of that momentum rolling, you know? And I'm kind of terrified. Nemiga has the forward spawns in all aspects. Now, all 5 players have forward spawn. I don't think I've ever seen that, Mitch.
Yeah, they're going to be able to fast play, and it looks like it's towards outside. Nemiga gets the cross on the smoke down at the very beginning, but they found it so easily last time, not being up against an AWP. Now the outside control is going to be much harder to find, but Vin's playing passive, and the smokes on the cross allow them all the way down. Into secret they go. I was going to say losing nothing, but Speedak actually gets spammed to death, and Vin's watching it as the slow walk goes across. Jo down to 26 HP. That's a great start for Defusekids. They've lost map control, but they've really made Nemiga pay the price for it.
Definitely, that little gap in the smoke has cost him so much. And I'm surprised to see him walk through that, but Relax is down here. He's ready for this. He's gonna peek off the element of surprise, but unfortunately does not pan out for him. That risk did not pay anything back. And now they have full down below control. It's just Vin holding it down from ramp, but look at Doc, look at Vanity. They're on a quick pursuit here through the vents.
And Vanity finds Box on that pursuit, and now Maggie's going to try to double peek it with... No, actually, Vanity's not there, but it doesn't matter. As Vanity falls, Maggie's with the trade. They knew he was in vents, but not checking it. A little bit of a communication issue there for Nemiga, as Lollipop now is left alone, coming up behind a flank of his own. Unfortunately, still a 1v2, and he just doesn't expect Fasher to still be towards the secret stairs after coming out from outside. It's 4-1, and Nemiga losing that round, really being torn apart. And that's a shame, because if the communication issue doesn't come through, if they check the vents on the way by, Maggie probably gets shut down. There's not a lot of room for him to move. And then you're looking at a 2 versus 2 in a much more winnable situation a little bit later on.
Definitely. I mean, add on top of that, even not losing that player crossing, right? You have that extra player. The trades go a little bit better, favorably at least, towards Secret, and things are entirely different. But now it's kind of the hero AK play for Nemiga. They have nothing else. It's just Deagle's armor, single flash, a single smoke for Box, and that single AK to try to make this work against full rifles and op for Vin. And it's a pretty standard setup here for Defusekids. I think they're recognizing the vulnerability of the economy. He's looking to open up the round, and open up the round he does. That's the first pick on his way, but they can't. Oh, okay, guys, everyone's bumping into each other, but that weapon, it's not recovered. They can't get it.
I wonder what Vin's thinking right now, coming around here, just like, oh, that's a smoke.
Is there someone hiding in that? Like, oh,
the next level play. Vanity was walking out with his back turned to outside. It's an interesting play. I'll give him that. He was worried about maybe someone being in secret. Unfortunately, they were just tucked in, really questioning what was happening there. As Vanity goes over the peak, he's taken down. It's into a 5v3. And at the Hero AK round, it's not quite looking great at the moment. I can see why Vanity thought they'd be in secret. They hadn't got the control there earlier on. But this is not ideal. Vin's lit to 24. He can't even reface. So Nemiga don't lose a single player, have a 2-man advantage and secret control. Now Defusekid's pushing down. Think about it. They know they're up against pistols. What are you going to do? Blitz down vents and take a close-range fight against them? They've also let the lobby lurk. And it was really lucky there were 2 guys pushing there, because Maggie was still checking it. Even still, though, this is a huge disadvantage for the CT side. Nemiga have gotten way more than they should have already.
Yeah, I agreed. I think Box misplayed that just a little bit, but we're good. Then second here, Speedak finds an important kill, a 1 and done, but that's still more than enough especially considering Vin is wounded. Now it's Doc and Vin. From ramp, nice shot from Doc. He's eliminated Lollipop. That's the sight player. Now they're in sight. There's one player towards the decontamination room and another one towards the double doors. A peek and kill from Yo. And that's gonna leave Doc all by himself, but he's wounded from earlier, and there it is. The upset from Nemiga. The robbery, Mitch. This is a 4-2 now, and the economy for Defusekids is looking rough. That's not a round they could afford to lose right there.
No, it really wasn't. For Defusekids, it was messy. Losing the round player at the start is fine. Box had a good entry. He was clearing his angles perfectly. I predicted the position, but on outside, Vanity falling, that opens up the map control completely. Vin's not able to get the shots on the cross. So much went wrong for them there, and they're punished by being down on pistols. Nemiga should find an easy connection onto a third round at this point. Defusekids trying to pull off an upset of their own. They can force the closer range duels, but player spotted up on top of the boxes. Fasher's down. Maggie's already low. The Deagles have the one-shot headshots. It's the only upside of this situation for Defusekids. They're dropping like flies to these ranged fights from Nemiga.
Yeah, I love the discipline right now. It's like discipline, but oddly aggressive, right? They're kind of passive in lobby, but they're also these engagements forward, through the HUD, on the outside as well, in ramp, really everywhere. If Defusekids want to step forward, they're likely to be met with some sort of resistance. And now with 2 players dead, I mean, at this point, it's just group, take control, hit this together, and just trade out.
Oh, I don't think Lollipop's going to expect Vanity to be here now. He cleared it, he spammed it, he looked through the hole, goes forward, and Vanity finds the kill. That's a nice advantage. Unfortunately, the rest of the team's dead, and it's all on Relax to pull off a 1v4, Deagle in hand. Hasn't got any cash, so the potential to save is definitely there, but at the moment just waiting to try and find an exit as maybe one of the Nemiga players gets too aggressive, pushes towards the ramp. He doesn't suspect that'll happen anymore. But where he takes it is really open for discussion. If he can just find a kill and take a rifle through to the next round, that's really his objective here.
That armored kit and Deagle Flash wouldn't be so poorly served. And I think they just spotted each other, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it seems like... Oh! Can be ready for it, but that's a 1D right there. Any more?
Nice
Any more takers, Mitch? I think they're satisfied with their... Gets that first shot, no, everyone just stops running towards him. They're not giving him anything else, I don't think.
J.O.'s tucked in. He was waiting for the player to go in for the AK. He's going to peek now, though. He's playing a risky game. Close range duel versus the Deagle, and he dies. That's a Krieg given over to the CT side. Not a weapon you want to have in their hands. I was agreeing with the play. He was tucked in radio at the chairs. As soon as Relax pushes forward to try and claim the AK, he can catch him off guard in an angle that he's probably not clearing, but he gets a little bit too greedy, and he wants to push forward and force the duel. I mean, he successfully forces the duel, but not quite the way he wanted to.
Yeah, could not agree anymore, honestly. You're absolutely right. You nailed that. He was in a perfect position and kind of just gave that up to lack of patience, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Now it's going to be Molotovs, early towards the A site. It doesn't seem like Nemiga's committed just yet. I think they want to just get rid of all the... Yeah, they're just drawing the attention away to the A side. They're just going straight towards the ramp. They want full control of that as early as possible. They have not decided the path they want to go down yet, but now I think, yeah, it's okay. They're committing down to the ramp below. They're not stopping, Mitch. They're going straight to that B-bomb site.
Yeah, tight drop and not given any opportunities. The USP's down here, not really going to be landing all too much. The damage is going through. Speedax on 70 HP. He dropped down the ladder from T-Roof, and it didn't stop. Didn't connect on the ladder. Oh, no, Lollipop. That's not the play. Straight into 3 players. The pistols, although they won't do much by themselves, when they're grouped up, that's when the danger comes. The Krieg finds 1, and Relax now on 7 HP. Can even consider a save, but it's a 3v3. You want to try to force this. Maybe some of the head peek angles can work out. Nemiga, though, have positioned themselves well. And for Relax, getting out of here alive is now the name of the game, but that ain't going to be too easy. They're all over him. But not looking.
This is getting very expensive. Second here. That was 3 casualties in a round. That was just a hero SG. That's it.
And remember, he shouldn't even have had that Krieg in the first place. If that more passive play comes in at the start of the end of the previous round, then there's no Krieg to work with. They're all USPs, and they get much less damage done. So it's a real domino effect for Nemiga. Although they're 4-4, and don't get me wrong, this is a good T side so far from them. They're adapting and they're clocking them up. Now they come in up against a full buy where Defusekids hopefully won't be making the same mistakes as last time. They'll still be able to get an AWP out. And that's another factor. If Relax doesn't find the 2 kills with the Deagle, doesn't go in with the Krieg and find all that damage, he also wouldn't have been able to donate the Deagle over to his teammate. He wouldn't have enough money now to drop Vin an AWP. He decides not to, though, instead going for the M4. Vin's obviously more comfortable sticking with the FAMAS right now. Fair enough.
No, you're absolutely right. I think Nemiga's just leaking money when they shouldn't be leaking money. I mean, they went from a potential double or even maybe triple gun rounds in a row to just a single gun round and maybe some sort of weird force buy in this next round, considering Speedak is at $8,500 and Box could buy his own rifle. But no, you're absolutely right. This could have been such a better economic territory for Nemiga moving forward and just a lot more pressure on these gun rounds. But now there's actually, I feel like there's hope for Defusekids to just swing this halfback into their favor. But it does need to start here, right? They need to kind of make their stand while the economy is sort of in this weird limbo for Nemiga. Let's see what they're up to now. I want to see if there's any change of pace here for Nemiga. Seems like outside control it is. Speedak looking for the outside pick on top of the boost.
The players on the A side of Defusekids, they're not looking for too much. They've just spotted the door come open. I don't know whether that was swung open or whether it was naded. But they just smoke it off, and again, avoiding those early fights. You can see why Vin's got the FAMAS. He's playing down in secret, just playing aggressive near the stairs, trying to spot it as they come forward. And it's just an information game at the moment. Maybe a little bit of a scared game as they wait for Nemiga to make a move, which burns up a lot of the utility as outside smokes are thrown over. But the problem with this kind of setup for Defusekids is, yes, you're avoiding giving any early duels, but you're also avoiding giving any early duels, so you've no information. And Nemiga, on the back of that, take full outside control with just 3 smokes.
And it's sort of a quiet outside control. Like, yeah, they threw the smokes. Yes, they've signified they could be outside, but it's kind of unclear if Nemiga is really out here or not.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see, I think it's Vanity, or there's someone, yeah, it's Vanity looking for that kind of crack cross towards the CT spawn area, but even he's not too sure what the heck's going on outside. Could they be walking secret? Are they all just grouped up mini looking for the 8th play? He has no idea. There's just only 30 seconds left on the clock. Nemiga really running this one down.
They get the timing as well. He comes off that crack, as you're talking about, and they're able to go over towards Heaven. Vanity takes down Speedak, but no idea that they can be in Heaven right now. Ooh. Huge play from Lollipop with 2 headshots found. And this is going to be dangerous. The Heaven control doesn't even matter at this point because Nemiga have completely overcome the bomb site. Relax, here's 1, but Lollipop keeps going with a 3rd. A wide swing on the headshot. Relax just wasn't ready for it. Now it's just a lonely Vin, the player that declined the AWP and has sat patiently, I will command, with a FAMAS in secret. He's barely moved for this whole round. He was looking to come up vents, but all his teammates were dead. He takes down Box. There's an AK up for grabs, but he might be hunted down. J.O.'s very quickly moving in towards him. All right.
Again, Nemiga really can't risk all this money. I mean, their money is not that great. Yes, they really want that AK out of his hands, but is it really worth the amount of weapons they've lost already? I'm not so sure.
This is it. I mean, Speedak can get himself an AK and drop one to JO, so they won't be terrible. But the thing that we're talking about isn't that they won't be able to buy here. It's that they're not future-proofing their economy in that sense. They're constantly knocking themselves back. When you know that Defusekids won't have the money to buy here, so they're only working with 1 rifle, in quotation marks, because they have got a scout out as well. But that's a very desperate buy to try and get a little bit of damage. It makes the pistols more viable. Think about it. If Vanity tags someone... Oh, he didn't get that one. I was going to say just like that. He's making those deagles a one-shot. I think he would have had it if he had armor. I think the gun kick probably flicked him off it.
Yeah, both of those shots were like a few pixels away. I mean, that could have been 2 tags. That would have been an entirely different kind of outcome here for Defusekids. But this is strangulation by map control from Nemiga for the past few rounds. I mean, look how much control they've had so early in the round already. They're all the way on hell. They've gotten 2-man advantage already. They have not taken a single point of damage. And unless Vin has something up his sleeves right here, they
were completely confused as to where Vin was going to be. Deagle does damage onto Jo, but it's not followed up on. And yeah, Defusekids, look, they had such a strong start. They were 4-1 up. But Nemiga just keep on clocking it with 5 in a row. And really, I think about the amount of times we've seen a full buy in all those rounds from Defusekids. They lost 1 up against the pistols, and then a domino effect comes into play. You get pistols being bought up. They're mixed buying a lot of the time, but never really having that strong buy that we're seeing from them right now. Full utility, M4s, AWP. Nemiga try to fast run out through the Molotov. Thatcher's not got a clue how he's there, neither do I. Lollipop has no other button but W bound. He just runs out taking those duels. And Nemiga slow it down. Look, they're in a 4v4. They've already scared Defusekids.
Yeah.
And now the CPs have to scramble to find some map control, which Nemiga are hoping will lend to a nice second opening duel for them.
You gotta love that, though. I feel like this is kind of the signature Nemiga playstyle, right? They've applied so much duress so early into this round that a lot of utility and kind of confusion is created by Defusekids that now they've kind of willingly gave up like they've given up outside completely. They thought it was an A rush for sure, right? Now they don't really know what's happening outside. And 1-for-1 trade, that's pretty all right for Nemiga. They're happy with that.
100%. I mean, you saw there even, I don't know if you guys caught it on the stream. I saw on my screen, Relax was actually checking below heaven towards ramp until he realized, oh wait, Vin is actually there. Like, everything was just in chaos. Oh, where are they? Where can they be? I don't know. Like, just screams, smokes everywhere, shots. It's like being in a war zone. Well, it literally is like being in a war zone. For Nemiga now, they've got secret control. They're pushing down, but they've given nothing away. They use utility outside, but they've done that almost every round. Are they in secret? Are they on B? Are they coming around through outside to heaven? Nobody knows. And so Defusekids can't afford to commit a player towards playing that aggressive angle. They've got 3 players on the A side. Vin watching ramp, which means B is completely open for business. Everything's for free. Nemiga are going to get that bomb plant, and as the doors open, this is when Defusekids start to think, all right, we've just been done. Oh, Vin's going down for this peak. If he dies, this is over. He needs to bail. Wait for his teammates.
I can't help but feel this round was kind of stagnant for Defusekids, though. They really held that the A control for so long. No rotate to relieve Vin so he could peek lower. Nothing to stop kind of the B push that's coming in right now. Yo is able to find one. Vin burns one alive. That speed had gone down, so it's back down to 3s. But such an important battle is lost there by Doc. They don't have the back pressure anymore. It's all just a single direction attack. Relax is able to find the kill onto Box, but a 1 versus 2 now. Bomb is planted towards the default position, and he has no kit, Mitch.
Oh no, he's been spotted from the double player coming out the window. He had a good read on where both players are because no one opened single, but that doesn't help you too much in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, for Defusekids, look at how they set up afterwards. Relax had rotated into heaven. He then commits himself to rafters. You've got 2 players on the bomb side in a crossfire and 1 ramp. You are all in gambling on A. If they don't take A, especially with the economy, I would have been happy to see Defusekids just save. But they want to go in for it for the retake, and I understand why. Nemiga, they're now on 7 rounds. That's just, we're giving away way too many. 6 in a row as well to the T side. You got to try to stop them. But when it doesn't work, that is, I mean, it's the reason it's a gamble, right? It hurts when you lose. They've got barely any cash to spend here. Very little chance of taking the round. And for Nemiga, I mean, they're laughing right now. This started out very poorly for them. And again, this all started because they won with a hero AK, found the ramp duel. Defusekids reacted by walking with their backs turned into Nemiga. And from that point, we just haven't seen them look the same.
No, it's, once again, a lot of map control here for Nemiga. And I think with this map control now, they're just going to start looking for the angles, right? Inside of Mini. But actually, Vanity was a 1-for-1 trade as well. That's not too bad. However, Nemiga still maintains control of the outside. But look at Defusekids right now. They're all in on this hell position. And if they can't make something work here, uh-oh. I think Nemiga's reading this pretty well. Going down secret is the call. This is a great call as well.
We have a rotation from Relax. He's going to try to get himself down there. I think Defusekids are starting to move away from those gamble setups. They obviously had one in hell there, but then they start to realize, okay, guys, we've got nothing, and they haven't come here yet. Let's spread out our bases. Relax is in position. You've got a player above him, Vin. And Vin can take the contact here, maybe distract him a little bit, as he just did, getting spammed to death. And then Relax hopefully will go undetected. Oh, never mind.
Was that
Jo just...
That wasn't a jumping one shot, was it?
I think it was a spray of some sort. Oh, hello, Fasher. He got Speedak and Jo. It's a 2v2. This is very winnable. Maggie's coming around to pick up a rifle. Has to check his left. He does, but unfortunately, Box takes him down. So Fasher's now got a 1v2. No idea where the second player is. Looks for Box. Box is going to peek this. Oh, but he goes right back in. And of course, as I said, Fasher had no idea where MDS was, and he was just tucked up behind the blue. Easy frag to find. An 8-4. It's, again, getting very upsetting for Defusekids. Now they're able to get a full buyout again. We can see the AWP come through on Vin for that outside control. And really, that's been the missing factor for them right now. Outside control, it's non-existent.
Yeah, and I wonder if at some point they'll kind of pick up on that and start to make some sort of adjustment. And I think that we are seeing that adjustment right now. It looks like 2 players are starting to flop towards the outside, or at least float towards the outside, rather. Now they've gotten Vanity into that secret position as early as possible. And of course, this is a great way to deny secret control. Opening pick, Doc and Fasher following up, one each, but Yo is able to respond back against Vanity, who was playing in that secret position. So now their sentry, their kind of their guard of that secret control, he's gone. So now that's open to Nemiga.
Now the issue for me right now is Defusekids are, when they're going to commit to outside control, they commit. As soon as someone's spotted towards A, they're pushing. Vanity's lost there twice trying to get aggressive at red. If you're playing down in the secret stairs, stay in the secret stairs. You found 2 picks on A. There's no more contact immediately coming through. There shouldn't be a call. I don't know if it's individual decision-making or team, but there definitely shouldn't be a call at that point to rotate A, everybody come. I don't know if they're a little bit panicked, what's going on, but they need to avoid giving up those picks.
Oh, what? Okay, he sees him. Okay. I was gonna say, no, don't do him like that, Yo. Don't do him like that, Yo. Oh, no. Damn.
That's not what we'd like to see.
Yeah, that's the ramp player. That's literally the only rotator that could have gotten here quickly. Now they have the strangulation on the vent rotation. And they've gone ramp control as well. Now, this is going to be really awkward here for Fasher and Vin. But this is so important. They need to make this clean. They need that early pick.
It's the same situation again. Like, they've lost outside control. Nemiga's shift down secret. And yes, they had a player on ramp. But again, 3 players A. And it's just not needed. Especially because Nemiga being late committing to B. They know where one is, with Speedak up behind the boxes. Nice tap by Vin. It's all down to J.O. He found one, turns, and he gets Maggie as well. That is unbelievable. Nemiga. I mean, they've got 9 rounds right now. Huge from J.O. in that one right there. But Defusekids, I don't know where the thought process is. We're not, like, we've got 3 players on the A site, 1 ramp. Why are one of those players not going down vents when they lose outside control to maintain a little bit there? They're giving up so much when it's just not necessary.
Yeah, you're right. They're a little slow right now. They're falling a little flat on the defense. They're not as mobile as they need to be. But, I mean, they still had it 2v1 and it was a crossfire, right? It should have theoretically went their way, but Yo was against that. And now it's just outside a brutal murder spree here for Nemiga as they keep 4 players alive. Yo is wounded, of course, but no fatality for him. Relax, looking for the 1D, but instead he will find only death. And it is Nemiga with 10 rounds on his T side. But I would like to remind us that this is Nemiga's map pick, right? They came in with a game plan. They knew what they're doing when they came into this map pick. And this is a result that was always on kind of on line. But sometimes Nuke is oddly T-sided when 2 teams' playstyles are clashing on it. So maybe Defusekids have some sort of aggression up their sleeves on the other side. But I can't help but feel that if Nemiga gets 11 here, that just might be too many rounds and so little room for error for Defusekids.
Yeah, even at 10, this is really pushing it, but we'll see if they can do it when it pushes all the way to the end. Defusekids find some openings. This is definitely a good sign for them. Speedak returning 1. A little bit more damage to go down. Lollipop and Speedak lining them up, and Lollipop's got more. It's all on Vanity. He's in a 1 versus 2. Things are falling apart for the CTs yet again. This time for different reasons. Flash goes out, not able to find a duel on the back of it, and Box swinging in for the 11th round for Nemiga. That is just an insanely poor CT side from Defusekids. I expected so much more of them. Again, we did put the caveat out there, though, that they've only played this 3 times, not against the best of teams. And you can see with some of the mistakes that are being made that they're just not comfortable on this map.
Mitch, I just realized Defusekids only won a single gun round that whole half. 1 gun round.
Yeah, you're right.
3 rounds are from the pistol and conversions. That's not a good sign. That's not giving me much faith in Defusekids here on Nuke. But let's see what they got up their sleeves. Maybe they pick up this pistol. Maybe they pick up first gun round. Maybe that swings things around for them. Right now, it's straight push towards the ramp. Not looking to slow down, but down the ramp they go.
Yeah, blitzing through MDS up close. He's going to be good for none, but Box is there to help out before eventually falling. Defusekids on the blitz down, but good. They've got the... Oh, no, they've just walked into a meat grinder. There were 3 CTs there, all just tapping away, and the advantages Defusekids had gained quickly dissipate. And a little bit messy on the push through. In the end, no bomb plant being found. They tried to get over there, but the rest of the team was already dead, so there was no chance. And 12-4, at this point, I mean, it's like the final nail in the coffin. You're relying on a huge comeback on a map that Defusekids just are not hitting it on. I think now you're going to start to look favorably towards Dust 2 and hope that that's where things start to separate. But even at that, Nemiga on an individual level, I wouldn't put massively behind Defusekids or even behind at all.
Mitch, are you calling it already on this map? You've lost faith. Just admit it.
I don't know, dude. It's 12 rounds. That's a lot to get on the T side with how they've been playing.
No, you're absolutely right. I can't blame you. And I think Nemiga just overall just is showing a little bit more prowess in general on this map. And it's 13-4 now. This is pretty much, in my opinion, the final stand for Defusekids. If you can't make this garden round work, you don't leave yourself much room for error, and then it's not going to end well. So I think if Defusekids, excuse me, want some sort of chance on this map, it needs to be in this round right here. This is it. They have what they need. They have AKs. They have rifles. Literally limited on the utility. That's not too shabby. Relax! Ooh, that's not how you want to start your final stand, Mitch.
No, smoke's too shallow. Getting caught on the vents. This is a bit of a disaster. Free upgrade found to an AK. You already get a pretty sweet deal getting an SMG kill, but ain't going to complain if it gets even better. Speedak sitting down on the scout on outside. He's got the control. Nobody's managed to sneak past as he was falling back. I say that, though, and he gives up the angle almost completely, looking at it from the CT stairs up on top of the railing. Confidence shooting through, but he's not able to find those shots. Maggie in with one, but Jayo's returning it quite a bit. Finally dealt with by Maggie, and a smoke down to allow the bomb plant. Defusekid's into it 2 versus 3. They're up against weaker weapons as well, but Doc is very low, so those SMGs can take advantage of it.
He's playing the headshot angle, but unfortunately that won't even matter. Oh, a 2-for-1 deal, not ideal for Defusekids, and well, Nemiga pick up the 14th. Maybe that bomb plant might inspire some confidence here for the force buy for Defusekids in this next round to follow, but at 14-4 on CT side, I think I'm hopping aboard on your boat, Mitch. I think I'm calling this one.
Yeah, I think after the first half, like, there's maps, right? If this is Mirage and you're 11-4 down at the half, you can say, come on, we got this. We can come back. Don't worry about it. And it's true. You can. On Nuke, I don't know. Especially, like, if you're losing rounds because they're out-aiming you, because they're playing executes that you're not used to. But if you're just 3-man stacking the A site and sitting there going, oh, maybe look at A, and that's the way you want to win the round, you're probably not going to be getting them when you go to the T side, because I don't think the strat book is going to be that deep for Defusekids that they'll be able to throw Nemiga out, who've already shown they're comfortable here. I mean, they picked the map, for God's sake. They know how to play the T side, and certainly then when they move to the CT side, they'll be comfortable in their setups and in their reactions to retake map control. Like, this is a much more, even just on how they're set up at the very beginning, you have 2 players towards outside, Speedak playing passive, and then you've got Box, I think it is, up close watching the cross. If they get smoked off, which they're about to, I can almost guarantee a player's going straight down vents. I want to watch Box here. I want to see if he blitzes down. I know there's a gap in the smoke as well. Oh my God, that's the biggest gap I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think there was a Molotov there, counter.
Yeah, this is not good at all. This is why Box doesn't go down. Just catch them on the cross, no problem. And look at that, 3 kills. Defusekids, they're trying to take outside. They're saying, oh, well, it worked for them, let's do it here. But Nemiga have the reaction to drop the molly down when the smokes are coming over, to stand there and watch the cross. And if not, they still would have dropped down and contested the secret.
Sure, wait, okay. Hold that thought. There's still 35 seconds left on the clock. He could grab the bomb unless he gets flanked by MDS from the heavens, and that's unfortunate. Nemiga now at map point 15-4, but I want to go back on your point. I think you're absolutely right. I think Nemiga, the difference between these 2 teams is that on the CT side at least, Nemiga's coming in with plans in mind for their setups, whereas we saw Defusekids just kind of autopiloting into their roles, right? They're playing standard every single round. They're kind of playing passive across the board, and they're playing reactionary instead of like assertive and kind of controlling the defense and controlling the pace of the rounds. And that's the big difference. But now at 15-4, that you could just gamble stack 11 rounds in a row and win probably one of them. So I think the chances here for Defusekids have gone from 5% to 0.5%, Mitch. Let's see if there's anything up their sleeve.
Oh, there's not. There's not. They've just been destroyed walking outside. Box goes out for more. This is just a disaster from Defusekids. I was hoping they'd see. I didn't think they'd win the map off the bat. There was a chance, but I was hoping they'd play well enough to have confidence moving on to Dust 2. Now we have to hope that they're in, because I don't know the players that well. I'm going to hope that they're going to be able to sit back and say, you know what, we've got this. Because so far, this hasn't been a very inspiring performance. I've realized I've actually been calling Doc Maggie the whole time. I mean, fix your in-game name then. That's all that can be said about that.
Yeah, I think people have been calling you out in chat.
Have they? I literally just read it. I always read the first thing that's next to the team tag. But I was thinking, I haven't seen a lot from Doc this game, but no, he's actually had a really good performance. He's now Maggie from now on. I'm just gonna roll with it.
Fair enough. Yeah, this is just formality at this point. That's it. It's all it is. Just honestly, flawless play from start to finish by Nemiga. They controlled the pace on the T side. They had plans in mind on the CT side. They left no room. Just straight stranglehold from beginning to end, Mitch. And that was just phenomenal play from them on this first map. And I think you're right to some degree. I think we were both leaning Nemiga on this first map, but we were at least hoping to see some sort of stand by Defusekids to at least raise their confidence up for the second map. But again, I guess the law in Counter-Strike is one round at a time, one map at a time. You gotta just let go of this first map. It was Nemiga's map pick. You kind of just have to concede that in your mind and just hopefully reset and move on to the second map, which is going to be Dust 2, and it is Defusekids' map pick. My name is Stronglegs. This gentleman right here is Mitch. Please follow our socials. For every follow Mitch gets, his hair gets a little longer and a little curlier, so you can use all your follows. Follow me down here below, and our observer and producer Mel. And of course, follow our socials for Winners League. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, whatever you have in socials, we're there. Follow us. And we're also giving away some skins and I think like... few 1 terabyte Toshiba SSDs. So if you're in the market for some of that, follow our socials so you can figure out how to enter those giveaways, which should be popping up soon. For now, we're going to cut to a quick short break, everyone. We'll be back in a few minutes for Dust 2.